What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. It is the 19th of January 2023. We're going to take a look over at the stock market indexes. Take a little break from the crypto markets this morning, but we will have some videos out shortly as we're seeing some nice rallies and support show up. So we're going to kick this video off. We're going to look at the Russell 2000 index, the Russell, the small caps. So the Russell has been quite bullish as this higher low came in. So we had a double bottom over here in September and October, rally, lower high, pulled back. We actually printed a higher low right here on the 28th of December and have rallied very strong to the upside on a percentage basis from the higher low to where we're currently at, 7%. To the high, call it 10%. Yesterday's action was not very bullish to say the least, which would have been the 18th of January. Started off nice with a nice breakout into new highs, which would be taking out these highs over here in the 1st and 2nd of December, which we broke out past those yesterday. We hit a high yesterday of looks like 1903 yesterday was the high for the RUT. But we had a big reversal day, closing down quite a bit, 1.59%. And it looks like the futures are down a little bit this morning as well. So we'll see how far this pullback goes. We are still long the micro Russell futures, but that might not last if we head much lower here. And that is fine. It could just be a shakeout before the rally does continue. Looking for a big breakout like this to take place. And we started yesterday, but they pushed the market back down. So we're not going to hold the micro Russell futures much longer here, as if they head lower, we don't want to be holding a falling knife. We'll be stopped out of our position, and if we rally again, we'll just reestablish. No big deal. That is trading. Like I said, we'll have to see how far this pullback goes. So my thoughts are, like I said, I like this higher low here, but if this thing starts to weaken much more, we're going to step to the sidelines, take another look at it, and like I said, we'll reestablish if it starts to look good again. We don't want to be caught in something like this holding long futures. As you can see there back in the June timeframe, anything is possible. So that is my thoughts. We are looking for a big breakout to the upside, but if support doesn't show up soon, then like I said, we're going to step to the sidelines for the Russell and we will reestablish at another time, hopefully in the near future. The 2023 trading year has been good so far. Not too many futures positions for us, for me personally. So we're eager to get into some of those. Like I said, we are long the Russell micros, but we'll be stopped out if they head if they head too much lower here, we'll be stopped out and we'll reestablish. So that's my thoughts on the Russell. We did have a nice breakout yesterday, but got big outside reversal day and closed lower. So let's see how far we go here. Small caps, though. Small caps can rocket when they are ready big time. Let's take a look at so we're at the Russell. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, the SPX. Similar looking chart as the Russell, although the S&P didn't break out past these December highs yet. So we saw that in the Russell, but we did not see that in the S&P. So the S&P is lagging the small caps currently, and we had a nice pullback yesterday. We almost bought the micro S&P futures this week and did not quite get there. And then yesterday's yesterday's move to the downside. The not quite ready yet. So we'll see when this thing is ready to blast higher, and we'll be getting long those micro futures. But for now, the position has been heading lower. It looks like there is a gap right here in the SPX between the 10th and the 11th. Maybe that'll get filled this evening. It might have got filled overnight, actually. The futures were down. I think I saw 16.25 for the S&Ps. Like I said, similar to the Russell, we'll see if support shows up here. We don't want to be caught. We're not long these, but if we were, you wouldn't want to be caught in something like that. So if we see some strength here, we will be getting long the S&P micro futures, these smaller contracts. But if the market continues to trade lower and sideways, we will just wait and reestablish on some strength. So we're not really into buying weakness, especially in the futures. We're more into waiting for some strength to show up and then jumping on board during those times. So that's my thoughts for the S&Ps. We'll see if we bottom here or if we head lower. It would be nice, like I said, if we can bottom here and start to rally, then we can get long these. Been patiently waiting so far this year for 2023 to get into some nice futures positions, but this choppy stuff is difficult to trade if you're not in front of the computer all the time. So that's my thoughts on the S&Ps. Looking for support to show up. Should show up soon if it's going to show up, because we're heading down to some prior resistance that we want to see turn into support, but doesn't mean it will. You don't always get what you want. You got to deal with what the market gives you and trade around that. So that is the SPX. Let's jump over to let's check out the VIX, actually, the VIX, the Volatility S&P 500 Index. The VIX has had a decent spike to the upside after undercutting some major lows here. I have not looked at the VIX in a while, so we undercut these lows from last March, May, and this is probably December. Looks like the VIX hit a low of, 1801. Had a pretty strong rally. What I see here, real quick, like I said, I haven't looked at this in a while, is we're at an area right here where the VIX could find some resistance. Or we rallied back up to the underside of this area of support that was broke. So it could turn into resistance as we broke lower, rallied, could find resistance, and then continue lower, which will actually help the stock market go up. So that is interesting. Like I said, I haven't looked at this in a while. So we'll see. That would go along with my theory that the yesterday's shakeout should find some support and some buying power and start to rally, which would the VIX, if the VIX finds resistance here and heads lower, the market should rally, and then we'll probably stay in our long Russell position, and then we'll look at getting into some S&P futures position, the micros. So we'll see what happens here. It'd be nice if the VIX found resistance. That would allow the market to rally. Let's check out the Dow Jones. Dow Jones. I don't even know what the ticker symbol is over here. I guess it's just DJI. Dow Jones Industrial Average. We'll check out this one. Looks like yesterday, along with the rest of the market, down 600 points. It's a pretty good day, actually, down 600 points. It's been a while since we have traded the Dow micro futures. We don't really look at them too often, although there is plenty of trading opportunity there. We just seem to stick into the S&Ps and the Russell for trading the futures anyways. Definitely a solid pullback for the Dow, but this, similar to the VIX, just flipped upside down, is so we have this area here, which is right where the Dow pulled back to, which you could see support there, and we could see a rally here. So there's resistance here, could see a rally and into a big breakout. I mean, it's looking like this market wants to rally, and maybe yesterday was the last leg down before we start to see Some big moves to the upside. We've been waiting. Yesterday was not yesterday. Last year was actually was a good trading year. Those who held long, unless you were collecting dividends, it was not much going on besides red candles and a down market for the year. Very good year for trading, though. Lots of opportunity, big swings to the upside and to the downside. So we'll have to see if this year we can rally this market. So that's my thoughts on the Dow. We could see support show up basically right where it closed yesterday. It's at the top end of a range where it could be support. Maybe we'll see a bounce. So judging by this and then judging where the VIX is, maybe we see a rally in the markets for the rest of the week. Today is Thursday. And then we have Friday, the 20th of January. I guess we'll check out the NASDAQ while we're doing this video. Let's see, NASDAQ 100. Haven't looked at the NASDAQ in a while. Haven't traded any of the NQ futures, the micro futures, in a while either. The NASDAQ potentially could pull down to this area, this 10,000, what is that, 10,900-ish. It should be the top end of this range. Don't know if that'll happen. That's a pretty far move from where we're at now, which is 11.4. Looks like it just found some struggle up in this supply area. As we rallied up into there, found resistance at the bottom end of that range and had a sharp pullback. If the rest of the markets can rally, the NASDAQ should turn here and move back up into this area. Could take a couple days, couple candles. Patience, we'll have to see. We will have to see. On a side note, Tesla, we are actually long Tesla stock. I'll actually bring that chart up real quick since I'm talking about it. Tesla, TSLA. We are long Tesla, still long Tesla, I should say. Actually, here's a line from the prior video. So we got long Tesla right around 126, basically where this red line is. We got long Tesla. We had a nice breakout on Monday. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday. Market was closed Monday. So we bought on Tuesday, right around 126. Had a decent rally yesterday, but then pushed back down with the rest of the market. We're still long Tesla. We'll see how long that works out. We do have a gap here, but looks like a breakaway gap. Tesla looks like it's bottomed and it's ready for a rally, perhaps up to this 168 range where there's some resistance, which is right here. But if the markets can't rally, then Tesla will not make it and will roll over, at least at some point. But right now it looks strong, so that's why we bought it, and we're still in the position. Not financial advice. Just my opinion. May be wrong, maybe stopped out, and we'll have to wait for some more support to show up from the indexes. So that is my thought. That gap below the market is a slight concern, but it could be a breakaway gap. So Tesla looks good here. It has been beat and battered big time for, let's see, basically most of 2022. It has been, which I call the southern slide to the downside. So I don't really trade off of this personally, but I'll talk about it since I see it here on the chart. So we have this, we have lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then we get this, what I call this waterfall, this washout move. Joe Granville talked about that, the bathtub analogy, and boom. So usually bottoms show up when you get a massive, basically a vertical line to the downside, which is what we basically saw here for Tesla. And we're getting a strong rally. So That's what leads me to believe that the Tesla bottom is in. So we bought an area that we thought was lowers the risk, which is right around that 126 area. So we'll have to see how far it declines here. Like I said, we'll be stopped out if it goes too much further than where it's at, where it closed yesterday. But we're still above water now. Looks like we closed at 128.78, and like I said, we're long from roughly 126. And if it heads lower, that's fine. We'll be stopped out, and we'll just buy it again when it decides to show some strength. But this usually the last leg of a declining stock or index. You'll get these lower highs, lower lows, and then the bottoms usually come in right at that waterfall move, and that's it. That's the bottom, and then the stocks rally from there. And we're seeing that we had the waterfall move, we rallied up, and then right on the 13th of January, we had a higher low, and markets can skyrocket once they put in those higher lows. And we did see that. Yesterday was kind of a bummer day, but hey, that's the way it is. Not every day is a good day for the market. Like I said, we'll see if it holds. The higher low, though, which came in on the 13th of January, was a big key. I used to talk about that a lot more in videos. You'll get a declining, stock or crypto. You'll rally up, usually a lower high. Sometimes you'll pull back, higher low. That is the first key to a change in trend. If you can spot that higher low and then the things start to rally, you can enter on that lower high, look for a breakout, and usually you're into the stock or the crypto well before the crowds or anybody takes notice to it. So like I said, that's why we bought the 126 area. We basically saw this exact scenario play out for Tesla, and we will hold as long as this thing continues to show some strength. If we have another day like yesterday, then we will probably be stopped out of this position. But like I said, we will have to revisit this evening. So that's my thoughts on Tesla. I think the bottom is in, and we should rally from here. Unless the stock market rolls over, then Tesla should not be able to buck the trend. All right, guys, that's my thoughts. We checked out the S&Ps, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, and a little video on Tesla. Thanks for watching. Join us. Hit that subscribe button if you're into this kind of content. Hit the thumbs up. Helps get the video in front of other viewers. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Appreciate it, guys. Take care.